So the state of Victoria has announced its Skilled Migration Program 2021-2022 opening. So what is out, what is new, and what is in for Subclass 190 and Subclass 491 Victoria State nomination? Now in this video, I'll tell you the 4 new important points that you need to keep in mind, explain the new eligibility requirements, show you the steps on how to apply for Subclass 190 and 491 Victoria State nomination, including its process and new preferences. Hi, my name is Teresa Cardona. I'm a lawyer and a registered migration agent from Auspac Visa, where we help Filipino professionals, partners, students, graduates, trainees, families, and our kababayans to migrate to Australia. So if you are new here, please click the like and subscribe buttons as well as the bell so you don't miss out on the tips and updates about Australian visa processing and application. Okay, so let's start. Now let's start with 4 new important points about Victoria State nomination for Subclass 190 and Subclass 491. The first one is Victoria's Skilled Migration Program for 2021-2022 will open to new registration of interest or ROIs on 7th of July 2021. The immigration has provided Victoria with 3,500 places for Subclass 190 and 500 places for Subclass 491. Now this is straightforward. It will open on the 7th of July 2021. However, unlike in the previous openings, there seems to be no period within which to lodge the interest. It would appear that it would be open for a longer time. Now, and also, you will note that the places for Subclass 190 are a lot higher than Subclass 491. So, which means that Victoria has allocated more places for PR than provisional visa. Now, this is good for applicants who are working in the metropolitan area as it will give them greater chances to be invited without relocating to the regional areas. Now, looking at the new information for nomination, particularly the working in Victoria or regional areas of Victoria requirement, it would appear that offshore candidates are still out. Now, Victoria is not open to nominate offshore applicants at this time. And this brings me to my second point. Now, for the second point, for this year, Victoria will only select candidates who are currently living and working in Victoria using their STEM skills in a target sector. Now, there are 2 important concepts there, okay? The STEM skills and the target sector. Now, what does STEM skills mean and what are the target sectors? Now, STEM skills are defined as those skills expected to be held by people with a tertiary education level degree in the subjects of science, technology, engineering, maths, and medicals. Now, Victoria has indicated that individuals using their STEM qualifications and skills and are also currently employed in the business precincts of Parkville, Footscray, and Docklands will be highly regarded. Now, for the target sectors, now to be selected to apply for skilled visa nomination, you must be currently working in one of Victoria's target sectors using your STEM skills. Now, the sectors are on the list on the screen. Now, for health sector, this is for professionals providing medical services to Victorians as well as those involved in related education and research and development. You do not necessarily need to be working in a health occupation, for example, nurse, to be considered working in the health sector. Now, for example, a software developer working on software for hospital is considered to be working in the health sector. Now, the medical research sector. Now, in addition to the medical research conducted in universities and research institutes, now Victoria's medical research includes activities such as drug development, clinical trials, health products manufacturing, medical devices, and digital health. Now, the life sciences sector. Now, Victoria's life sciences sector is composed of the many industries such as the medical technology, biotechnology, pharmaceutical industries, and companies involved in food processing, nutraceuticals, and cosmeceuticals may also be considered to form part of the life sciences sector. Now, the digital sector. The digital sector makes use of technology and innovation to drive economic growth, productivity, and competitiveness in Victoria. Now, Victoria will only select applicants with cybersecurity skills to apply for Subclass 190 visa nomination. Now, applicants without cybersecurity skills who are seeking Subclass 190 visa nomination may still be selected if they're using their digital skills in another target sector. For example, a software engineer working in medical sector or medical research. Now, applicants working in any segment of the digital sector will be considered for selection for Subclass 491 visa nomination. Now, Agri-Food Sector. The Agri-Food Sector in Victoria includes highly skilled people working to develop food growth and production, as well as the modernization of Victoria's Agri-Food Sector. Now, to be considered in here, applicants must be using their STEM skills to innovate within the sector, which could include research and development or advanced manufacturing. Now, the advanced manufacturing sector. Now, Victoria's advanced manufacturing sector includes industries such as defense and aerospace. Now, to be considered to be working in advanced manufacturing, you must be using your STEM skills to enhance innovation. And this could include activities such as research and development, design, supply chain management, increasing global competitiveness through the use of technology. Now, the new energy emission reduction and circular economy sector. Now, this sector includes industries such as clean energy, renewables, bioenergy, carbon capture, and energy storage. Now, applicants could be using their STEM skills to support efforts to reduce waste, cut pollution, and protect the environment. Now, those are the target sectors. Now, if you're working in any of those in Victoria, this may well be your good chance to be invited. Now, the third point that you need to know is that there are three major changes to the 2021-2022 program of Victoria. The change number one is that the minimum experience and hours work requirement are now removed. So you will see here that casual employment is now accepted. Unlike before, the full-time employment or at least 20 hours a week with work experience for at least 3 or 6 months were strict requirements. Those do not apply anymore. As long as you're working in STEM skills in any of the target sectors, Victoria will consider your application. Now, change number two, there is an increase in the number of target sectors. You will see that the target sectors are now expanded to 9 sectors. Unlike before, it was mainly concentrated on health and medicals. Now, change number 3 is that applicants must have STEM skills and have a skill level 1 or 2 occupations. Now, applicants for Subclass 491 nomination may also have a skill level 3 occupation using their STEM skills. But please bear in mind too that if you submitted an ROI for the 2021 program and were not selected, you must submit a new ROI in 2021-2022. And when you submit an ROI, so make sure that you do not provide false or misleading information, or you can run the risk of being refused. And if your nomination application is refused, you will not be able to submit a new application for the same subclass for 6 months. Now, the state of Victoria offers a state nomination under 2 skilled migration streams. Now, one is the skilled nominated permanent visa subclass 190, and then the second is the skilled work regional provisional visa subclass 491. The skilled nominated visa subclass 190 is a permanent visa for skilled migrants with advanced talents currently working in Victoria using their STEM skills. So you must receive a nomination from Victoria before you can actually apply for this visa. Whereas the skilled work regional visa or provisional visa 491 allows skilled migrants to live, to study, and work in designated regional areas for 5 years. You must receive a nomination from Victoria before you can also apply for the visa. Now that you're aware of the 4 important points and the 2 types of skilled visa that requires a nomination from the state of Victoria, you may now approach or start preparing your application for subclass 190 or 491. You can use the 8 steps that I prepared for you, or you can contact us to handle the entire application to make sure that you are doing all this correctly. Now, the first step that you need to do is to find out if you meet the requirements set by the Department of Home Affairs. Now, the basic requirements for both Subclass 190 and Subclass 190 are: one, you've got to be under 45 years old; second, you must have competent English; and third is you must have a positive skills assessment in your nominated occupation that is on the list; and fourth is that you have a minimum points test score of 65 points. Now, the second step is for you to check or note the opening of the registration of interests in Victoria. Now, I have mentioned earlier that Victoria's Skilled Migration Program will open on the 7th of July, just a few days from now, so you can better make sure that you are all set to register your interest to be nominated either in Subclass 190 or Subclass 491. Now, the third step is for you to check the state of Victoria eligibility requirement and see if you can pass. Now, for the state of Victoria, you will need to start by selecting the stream that is most appropriate in your situation. So, if you're seeking a nomination for Subclass 190, you must meet the following eligibility requirements. One, in terms of employment, you must be currently working in Victoria in a target sector. Now, in this regard, Victoria will accept casual employment with employment in a role that is closely related to your nominated occupation. Now, Victoria will not accept employment that is not related to your nominated occupation. 2. In terms of occupation, your occupation must be listed on the skilled occupation list, and your occupation must be listed as skill level 1 or 2 in the ANSCO dictionary. Now, if you are a registered nurse in Australia who wants to be nominated by the state of Victoria, now bear in mind that Victoria will focus on inviting the nurses on the following specialization that is now posted on the screen. Now, put on note that Victoria will also select nurses on advice from the Department of Home Affairs, and nurses employed directly by a health provider like nursing home or hospital will be prioritized over those working for an agency. Now, third is you must have obtained an invitation from the state of Victoria following your registration of interest. You cannot jump to the visa application without an invitation from the state of Victoria. And then fourth is you must be currently living in Victoria. And then fifth is that you must be under 45 years of age at the time of nomination. And sixth is you must have at least competent English ability, and the test must be valid for at least 12 weeks. And then seventh is that you must have at least 65 points, including the 5 points for state and territory nomination. Now, in addition to all the above, you will be required to complete a declaration form to be submitted to the state of Victoria when you expressed an interest. Now, let us go to Subclass 491. What is its difference from Subclass 190? Now, if you're seeking a nomination for Subclass 491, you must be eligible in terms of 1. Employment. You must be currently working in regional Victoria in a target sector. Now, the regional areas are posted on the screen. Now, just like in Subclass 190, Victoria will accept casual employment with employment in a role that is closely related to your nominated occupation. Now, Victoria will not accept employment that is not related to your nominated occupation. And also, bear in mind that you will be required to provide current contract, most recent payslip, and an extract from your superannuation account showing the most recent payments from your employer, and additional payslip or reference letter from your employer. Now, the Victorian target sectors for Subclass 491 are the same as in Subclass 190. Now, in terms of occupation, your occupation must be listed on the skilled occupation list, and that your occupation must be listed as skill level 1, 2, and 3 in the ANSCO dictionary, and provided that you are using your STEM skills in one of the target sectors that I mentioned. Now, for nurses, the focus or specialization are the same as in Subclass 190. And just like in Subclass 190, Subclass 491 requires that you must obtain an invitation from the state of Victoria first before jumping to the visa application. You must be under 45 years old with an English certificate that is valid for at least 12 weeks, positive skills assessment that is valid for 12 weeks as well, and must have at least 65 points. Now, the fourth step is to express your interest to be nominated by the state of Victoria via Live in Victoria's portal. Now, please note that before you can proceed with ROI, you will need to do your EOI first under Skill Select. So if you want to know more about EOI, you have to check my other video. Now, the fifth step is wait for Victoria's response. Live in Victoria has a selection process. If you are selected, you will receive an invitation to submit a nomination application. And now the sixth step is to respond to the invitation by submitting a nomination application via Victoria's portal. Now, the response to the invitation must be done within 14 days. Now, in this step, you will need to substantiate all the claims you made in your ROI. And if you are successful, you will receive a notification of the decision and an invitation to proceed to the seventh step. Now, the seventh step is to submit your visa application to the Department of Home Affairs within 60 days. Now, this is a step wherein you will apply for either Subclass 190 or 491 via IMI account. Now, once the visa application has been lodged and paid, you will then need to wait for the visa outcome. Now, the eighth step is the visa outcome. It is the last and final step. Now, the visa outcome is a decision made on your visa application. If your application is successful, you will receive a visa grant with the details of the visa conditions. But if your visa application is refused, you will receive a letter with a decision record which should provide you with the reasons for refusal and a notice of whether there is an opportunity for you to make an appeal. So those are the 8 steps that you can follow or use to guide you in your preparation to apply for successful 190 or 491 State of Victoria nomination. Now again, just a piece of warning, state nomination is not an easy process. When it is done correctly, the visa grant can be quick. But when it is messed up, you can lose time, money, and opportunity to become a permanent resident of Australia. So timing, knowledge, and experience are crucial to the success of your visa application. So I suggest that you hire a professional to do the entire job for you. If you need any help, contact us or book a consultation to know exactly what is best for you. And that's all for today, and see you next time. Now don't forget to click, like, and subscribe. Bye!